Hear my boys. Hey Alexa, what day is it today?
Today is Sunday, December 29th.
My uncle died yesterday. My uncle Charlie. Um, I didn't really know him. I met him a handful of times. Um, when I do remember him, what I can remember him, um, he was a gothic person. He was gay. Um, and he didn't look. He didn't look right to me. He didn't look right. He looked something wrong with him. To me, automatically, uh, I got that feeling. Not a person. Yeah, I'm gonna say not a person. When I was little. Um, hey Alexa, how many churches are in the United States? I should say how many churches are there.
Here is what I found from sharpim.org. There are an estimated 360,000 churches in the United States, with an average attendance of about 125 persons per church.
Hey Alexa, how many churches are in Orange County, California?
From wikipedia.org. In addition to its 56 parish churches, the diocese oversees 41 schools and 3 general hospitals, plus 1 disabled and 5 ethnic ministry centers.
I just got the VA, like, hey Alexa, who owns the VA hospital?
From wikipedia.org. All VA hospitals, clinics and medical centers are owned by and operated by the Department of Veterans Affairs, as opposed to private companies, and all of the staff employed in VA hospitals are federal employees.
Federal employees are killing themselves and they're watching it happen. And I think now they're just waking up going, holy fuck, all those people on the phone, they're next. They're experiencing the same fucking bullshit that they've been putting someone else through the phone with. Just like these people who are trolling me online and blocked me. Um, so I'm like, I know I'm being blocked, but whoever is watching me is copying me, like mirror image shit. So let me see. I forgot. Uh, hey Alexa, what is tax exempt?
Tax exemption means reducing or removing the liability to pay a tax that would otherwise be imposed by the ruling power on persons, property, income, or transactions.
Hey Alexa, who qualifies for tax exemption?
I don't have an answer for that.
Hey Alexa, what companies are tax exemption right now? Or in California, I
I
should
don't
say.
have an answer for that.
Hey Alexa, what companies are tax exemption in California?
I don't know that.
I have to. It feels like in my head I have to come up with think about it, and then like okay, I have to think about it. But then also I'm asking the ancestors. I'm asking like, what do I? I'm asking also these people here, here, those people up there. Asking them like that they're the ones telling me taxes right now. Um, Stone, Yellowstone, Tombstone, Holiday. But there's another guy. That's a hard because then they come up with a name. I'm like, how do you say it? How do you pronounce it? When I hear it in my ear, I have a lot of traffic noise. Yeah, that's what a noise. Yeah, noise. Um, my boys, when you went to school, and what I do with my downtime, I cleaned up, I organized, I got ready, I asked what I needed to do, like what was asked for me to do from the spirits, what my grandmother, like game stuff, planning. Um, and I had to unplug, like, first of all, our electricity bill was high for no fucking reason. So I'm like, someone's fucking with us. So I did my research, and I like wanted to see where the corruption was in the city. I unplugged everything in the apartment, and we didn't have nothing. And our electricity bill was fucking high. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna document this shit. So I was documenting whatever I had. I didn't think it was gonna get serious, and it got serious. So then I started paying the electricity bill. When we every time we got our income tax, I would pay the electricity bill like $500. When our electricity bill at the time was $100, and then it was like $100, and then it went down to like 80, 60, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it so high? It shouldn't be this high. We don't have nothing here. We just moved in, and we didn't even have a refrigerator at the time. Um, and it would have been the heater, but it wasn't the heater at the time. Because it couldn't have been that high. You would have to run it all the time. And what else? And we only had a little TV. That was it. We just moved in, and it was like that for like a good 3 months. I say, like, we had nothing, and I was okay with that. But I'm like, uh, it shouldn't be this high, and we don't have nothing. This was like the first time I experienced it, because when we had other places, it was not like that at all. So I'm like, something's not right. Knowing that I even paid some of it, like, anyways, for another time. So we moved in, had to do another deposit because of they changed the deposit fee. So, anyways, I did that, and after the 3 months, it was high. I'm like, something's wrong. So then, when we started getting our electronics, I unplugged everything. So I wanted to fix it before, like, we got our electronics. So I knew, like, to unplug the electronics. And so when you boys would be at school, I would unplug off all electronics. Um, and I noticed traffic there. Like, I couldn't do certain things until I plugged in certain electronics. Then I noticed certain things happen. Like, it was just weird. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So it led me to doing more research. And I was too damn busy. Like, I couldn't go on social media and or do other things. Um, like, I was too busy trying to figure out how to heal, how to be a mother. And like, I was telling my mom the other day, like yesterday, like, I like cleaning up your boys' mess. Like, every time you made a mess, I did not complain. I did not complain. Even um one time, I remember, Anthony, you got in the refrigerator. I think I was in the room with Colin, and I fell asleep trying to put him to sleep. And you had the TV on. You were so good. You were like the biggest, like the good brother. Like, you knew that the baby had to be put to sleep. And you were so quiet though. Um, but Man, Anthony, you were an amazing big brother, but you were sneaky and you were smart. But anyways, you went into the refrigerator and you got yourself pizza, and you even got a hold of a candy bar in the refrigerator, and you opened it and you got it everywhere on the couch, everywhere behind the couch, like the pizza box. You left it on the couch opened, like eating, watching TV, like it was fine. But the chocolate you hid behind the couch, and it got everywhere. Like, my guess, what happened is it looked like that you didn't know chocolate melted so fast, and you didn't know what to do with it. So you tried to wipe it off, and it kept getting everywhere. So you panicked. I You can't get mad at something like that because it's like, what was going to happen? And the thing that it's like, you did it so quietly. You did it like, you it seemed like you knew where it was, you planned it out. Um so I knew, like, if anything happened like that, I had to be more careful, like, all right. um because putting a baby to sleep is like, you're gonna knock out too. It's sometimes like, okay, I'm gonna trick you, I'm gonna be asleep, I'm gonna trick you, maybe if you see me sleeping, and I end up going to sleep, and I wake up, oh man, you're still up. I knocked out. Or I had a couple of times where I'll fake you boys out thinking that, I'll fake you guys out thinking that, okay, let's go take a nap, boys. And I end up sleeping, and then you guys end up making a whole mess. Just like really, you can't, you have to laugh at yourself. Like, they played you, like they won, like they got the best of you. And that is just like neat. I think it's neat. But cleaning up your mess, boys, was, I think, the best. It showed me your personalities. It really did. It showed me that I had to punish you boys differently, but at the same time equally. By showing you, like, there's no favoritism. I couldn't favoritism. Like, there was, like, you boys each had something that I loved. And even, like, there's certain things, like, for instance, Colin, I hated you picking your nails or biting your nails, but you got that from me. And that part I hate. And I worked that out by the things that, like, the things that I don't like about you boys are the things that I don't like about myself. So I fix that. If I don't like it, then I fix it within myself, and then you boys stop it. So that was just an easy way for me to do that. Um, like Colin, I don't like you picking your nails, but that's not your fault. That's because you got it from me. So therefore, I have to stop picking my nails or biting my nails, and I did for you because I saw your nails were so bad, and that was from me. I caused you doing that. I caused you more stress, and um, and I tried those finger things on you, and it didn't work. It your anxiety was beyond my anxiety, and the school needed, I feel like the school needed to know. My offsprings, I tried with you boys, with the school. You boys were really good. It wasn't you boys, it was the school hiding shit and keeping shit secretly. And as I had family values, I have family that you cannot see, boys. And the United States is saying that that is not right. That's not, well, it's coming up to light because on Hollywood they hide that shit, and the religion people, church, is making money off of it. um yeah, so my Uncle Charlie died yesterday. My mom came home. Of course, she told me. Ricky told her. My cousin Ricky. And then my mom starts getting like agitated because I kept asking her questions. And she gets agitated. She gets irritated. I don't know. I don't know. She didn't tell me a lot. We didn't have a good conversation. I'm like, all right, well, you told me, so I'm gonna. Well, how did she find out? His friend called her. All right. Good he had friends then. Um, anyways, even though uh he owed a lot of money, he went to prison for a while, a long time. He saw he was in jail when a couple family members passed away. I think it was his. No, it wasn't dad. I don't know who passed away, but someone passed away. See, um, because I don't know my family well, I just know because my dad's telling me, and I don't know the name, and he can't tell me the name because I wouldn't even know who he would be, and I wouldn't even know who he would be anyways, or how he would be related. But I know that my dad's giving me an image like I am when my dad's on the phone. I'm also eavesdropping. I'm trying to figure out who he's talking to. But it was around my dad's death, right before my dad's death. Another family member died, passed away, and he was going to be set out to be released. Charlie was going to be set out to be released, and I think was it dad? It was my dad. I think died. Oh, there's another. My dad, I think, was said Charlie was supposed to be released, and he wasn't. He couldn't be released. He would have been in handcuffs, or he would have been in shackles at the funeral, or at the burial, and he didn't want that. He didn't want that. That's what my dad told me. This was before my dad died, so there is two people. He's telling me there is two people. So when my dad died, I think he was just about to release, or he was released. I don't know if he was there. He could have been right there. I don't remember now. Now it's blocked off because they want me to remove. They want me to move. Um, and I was even asking my mom, so where's he gonna be buried? This and that. And she got mad. Um, I don't know if there's be a funeral because he has no money to bury him. There's no money to bury him. I'm like, there's money to bury him. They'll like. It just pissed me off that it has to come to that point. Because my grandmother, it brings up my grandmother. Like, her wishes weren't fulfilled, her wishes were not met. And she's like, it's gonna happen to you too. Like, watch when you die, it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna listen to you when you dead. And that part hurts me. That part scares the shit out of me. It really does. So when I die, it's gonna be like this. Like, no. So I'm trying to be organized the best that I can. So for me to stay in the house, like, I want to go out. I want to do things. I want to go to the gym. I even tried yesterday to go back to the gym. And it's like, it's too loud. Too many negativities, too many, the TV's just brainwashing. The music is just like, no, it's the worst. 24-hour fitness is the worst. 24 oh, in Planet Fitness is like one of like the league of its own. It definitely is a planet. So far, Choose has been clean, but I think let's see how long that'll last. And another thing is that America just went to shit is because they don't. The community is so corrupt, and the churches are within the community. Hey Alexa, how old is Pope Francis?
Pope Francis is 88 years old.
88. Hey Alexa, how old is Houston, Texas?
Houston, Texas was founded in 1836, 188 years ago. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Hey Alexa, how old is California?
California is 174 years old, as it was admitted to the Union on September 7, 1850.
Hey Alexa, how old is Arizona?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Arizona became a state on February 14, 1912. Subtracting that from 2022 will show you that Arizona has been a state for 110 years.
Last time I didn't. Hey Alexa, what is a Trail of Tears?
The Trail of Tears was part of the Indian removal, an ethnic cleansing and series of forced displacements of approximately 60,000 Native Americans of the 5 civilized tribes between 1830 and 1850 by the United States government. Removal for this event was gradual, occurring over a period of nearly a decade.
Hey Alexa, what is the oldest mission in California?
From travelemming.com. San Juan Capistrano is California's oldest preserved mission, and its Serra Chapel is considered the oldest standing building in California.
Oh, I forgot where we got married. Damn it, Lauren. No, Mission Viejo. We got Mission Viejo. Yeah, I think we got married in Mission Viejo. And yeah, okay, my offsprings. I didn't want to marry your dad because of the government. I didn't want the government thing. I got married. I didn't want to do the court thing or anything at all. I didn't want to go through that. But then I had kids, and they're saying something about like the girl on the phone kind of scared me on the phone because they canceled my Medi-Cal. I only wanted I wanted the same last name as you boys. That's the only reason why I changed my last name. Is because of you boys. Because the girl on the phone, my last name was Cormany, and I wanted to keep Cormany. And she said on the phone, she was like, "Okay, so your son's not gonna have your last name. How do we know is you're the mother?" Like she said something like that, and I'm just like, she's like, once you want, she goes, you should consider getting married and getting the same last name as your husband. And for some reason, I it scared me. It kind of just like, I'm on the phone, I'm like, yeah, she's kind of right. And I was pregnant at the time with my second kid. So I'm like, yeah, this is I'm already seeing this is going to be a problem because they canceled my Medi-Cal and they gave it to your dad, Lauren. And they because they gave him pregnancy, they gave him like an OBGYN and they canceled mine. The problem is that your dad's a male and I'm the one that's pregnant that needed the help. But they canceled mine because for some fucking reason they thought he was a female. I don't know what was the mix up, but they just did that shit. So I had to go through so much shit over the fucking phone and the confusion. Um, then your dad, I got it fixed. Then your dad, then when we did get married, um, we started seeing some kind of the benefits too from the state. But I invested in that with you boys. So then with that also, yeah, I invested in it because it gave me some money to stay at home with you boys so I can help out trying to get a job. I was not able to get a job because the jealousy factor. Couldn't deal with it. It was too hard. Until you understand, boys, I was not allowed to get a job because it was who you with. I was always cheating. Um, the just the fact that the things around the house wouldn't be done, then I would have to do extra, and it was like overwhelming, too overwhelming. The PTA, the school, helping out the baby, doing this, and having a spouse coming home drunk, uh, and having like people calling you on the phone pretending and hanging up, and I just so you people who knew, you knew I was married. I didn't make it a secret. um Lauren's the one that made up a whole new person in his head. He's gonna run with it. He's flying with it. Fly high, fucker, fly high, because you're not going anywhere. Because I knew my grandmother and your aunt that passed away wanted this connection to happen, and here you are, because she was pissed that her son's up there. Her son should have never been up there in heaven. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have known the person, the child he was, the child that I saw him trying to come out, but it was just a monster. He definitely does not want his son being up there. And the grandma, oh gosh, his aunt, I don't know the aunt, I never met the aunt, but the aunt, Dan, Susie, and Miguel, your brother and your mama, now your grandpa and your grandma, they're dead with my dad. So, anyways. Oh, and my Uncle Charlie too. Anyways, um, because this message is going to be for my Aunt Cookie too. Um, but Susie, think about your own damn kids. Because I know you're not. You're not thinking about your grandkids. That's for sure. You're not. Think about your nephew and nieces. You failed them. You were never there for them. The fact that Isaiah could have ended up like Javier is just disgusting. I wasn't going to allow it. I couldn't, man, I saw your kids grow up. Like the moment, like I was pregnant with Anthony, and the moment I saw your kids, I was like, oh my, I wanted boys. I knew I wanted boys, and when I saw your kids, I'm like, yep, that's what I want. I want boys. Um, but the way your mom treated you boys, Isaiah, Noah, Um, the way your mom and dad treated you boys was unfair, unjustified, and disgusting. Um, and your dad was older than your mom. The family knew and the family didn't like it, but the family accepted it. Susie got her way. Um, and they didn't have that best relationship either. And their mom's telling me, Susie, your mom's telling me, like, sorry, but you create your own mess. But her grandkids, she she loves her grandkids. So all that shit is gonna come back at you. Just remember who was there for you at the school district. Isaiah, remember that too. I already knew that these people were fake, that these adults were fake, that these teachers and staff and principal, they were fake as fuck. So if you know corruption, if you see it, you saw it, speak out about it, tell it, say it. Because your family wasn't there for you. Because Javier should have, a junior should have never went to jail in the first place. Junior should have never went to jail. And his grandma is also protecting all the grandkids. Um, Adults should not be having sex with children, period. I saw something, I'm saying something. And Dan, I remember Dan going off on one of you guys, one of you. Noah, probably. I wanted to step in, I wanted to say something. But I just remembered Susie already yelled at me because she's like, you don't understand when her brother Javier died, um, when he was murdered by the Westminster Police, the SWAT team. And she's like, you don't understand. You'll never understand my pain. And I'm like, all right. You said you could yell in my face. You did. You did. But just know, Susie, my brother too. You'll never know my pain. So fuck you, Susie. And you knew, it's like, when you were yelling that in my face, like when I told you that, it's like you wanted to be the only one to feel the pain. You didn't want to accept that other people can feel your pain too. Like, we understand. It's going to be okay. And the madness that you had was because you didn't leave it at good terms. That's what the anger I felt and saw. And I knew that it was going to be okay for you. But I knew that what you were going to do was not okay. How you used it. I went to the funeral, I went to his wake, and I saw more hidden things that I'm an outsider, and I'm also a healer. I'm also Native American, always proud of it. So Dan Escamilla, for what you have done to me, and you work in the medical field, you both work in the medical field because of your goddamn mother died of cancer, and that changed your outcome of becoming in both the medical fields. And now you're fucked over me, and you're fucking over the medical field. You're fucking over Hermes. You're fucking over the ancestors. You're fucking over a health system. Dan, what you did to me was wrong. You know it. the justice system is fucked, I don't believe in it, and they believe in a God, well, then my ancestors are just like, remember who you are, remember. So the whole Lion King shit is just like funny as fuck. So when Beyonce put on the 7-Eleven song, and I'm just like, oh, just making lemonade. I love you boys so much. And I'm doing this for my grandkids because I don't want my grandkids to suffer with sexual abuse, because sexual abuse is trauma. And since I already gave you guys trauma, I don't want you to pass on that trauma that I gave to you to my grandkids, because it can't be healed. And I'm showing you that it can't be healed. So watch your kids and don't trust anybody with your kids. Just don't. And it should be taught. It should be a gut instinct as parents. We need family. We need to understand what that, we need to have that back. Why it's so important to trust. We should be able to trust brothers and sisters with each other. We should be able to trust aunts and uncles to watch their nephews and nieces with good intentions. We should be able to have our own husbands and wives watch our own kids with good intentions without being worried. Like, that was, come on. Lauren Tapia, there's no reason why, as a fucking father, to run and take my fucking kids when you know, like, this doesn't make sense. The United States just fucked up on this fucking part. And I have it, and it's just, I'm letting it out. I'm letting it go. 5 keeps coming up, 5th, whatever that is, whatever that may bring. It's happening. It has fallen. The United States has just collapsed. Where do we go on now? Where do we go from here? Becoming better, doing better, planting, watching the insects come back up. I love you boys, and yeah, before I go, my Uncle Charlie gave us one of the best Christmas. He always came around. He did come around with a couple Christmases, and those were like the best Christmases because he gave us a lot of shit. But we realized that those gifts were blood money. Those gifts were attached to his corruption, his schemes of scamming people into money. So he would be on the phone, like what I was told, he would be on the phone cussing and yelling at people, or just like people, oh, you owe us, the bank called and you owe us, you're in debt of $2,000 and we need the $2,000 right now. You can wire us the money, this and that. It would be old people too. That's what I was told. But that money he wasn't the only one, but he did get, he was the one that got caught. There was others, but he was the one that got caught, and I don't think he ratted out anybody, so he did time. Meaning he didn't rat out anybody, he did time, meaning he ratted out everybody because he did time. And I have the paper to prove it, that he wrote to my Uncle Jerome. I mean, yeah, it has my Uncle Jerome, but my Uncle George says it, that he wants everything to go to, he's talking to my Uncle George, that he wants things to go to Jerome. And Jerome is next to dying. And Charlie was only 58. Yeah, he was only 58 years old when he died. So he had a lot of trauma. He was also sexually abused as a child. And I'm sorry for the victims that he has caused. And now he's going to help me out, getting people, writing out more people. And I've done it. I'm doing it online. So every time I'm meditating, um, I have people like my Uncle Charlie now that's going to help me more. So all I have to do is just dig into his name a little bit more, and then I'll find some names in there, and then voila. Uh, he brings in Hollywood, Uncle Charlie, since he's related to my aunts. He's related. They're in Hollywood. My aunt Cookie's a groupie, so I mean, it's a shit fest in Hollywood. I feel bad because the people out here, the people that have no money, are thinking that these celebrities are like, no, it's not like that at all. Actually, the government's using them, like the actors and stuff. Um, you are calling on another person. You're calling. So if an actor is acting out a dead person's role, and you're acting out that person's going to follow you. That person's gonna like you're going to take on the trait. That's what happens. Just like it's like a phantom transplant. That's a good one. A heart transplant if you got someone else's heart, or like yeah, a phantom. That's kind of cool. A phantom menace. Okay, I love you boys, and I'll see you soon.